All right, next question comes from Sasha. Are you sold on Brock Purdy? If so, which game was it that sold you? I am sold on Brock Purdy. I don't think it was a particular game for me. It was last season. So how he came back from the UCL with no off season to work with his teammates to fine tune his craft, and yet he came out and threw for over 4,000 yards, had a great season. That's really the course of last season was when he won me over. I was impressed with his rookie season, but this time last year, I didn't really know what to expect. I mean, I actually was thinking, okay, we're going to see Trey Lance probably start about 4 games, then maybe Purdy comes back. Who knows what he's going to look like? And instead, he comes in, he practices. What was it? I think he'd practice for 2 days and then be off a day during training camp or something like that, or practice 3 and be off 1. And he hit the ground running from day 1, week 1 in Pittsburgh, and never looked back. That's what sold me. Ant, where are you at on Brock Purdy?
I think it was a totality of things, just like you're saying. I don't think it was a game that really made me think, oh, Brock Purdy is that guy. I am sold on Brock Purdy, but it's because of some of the things he did. I think the first time that I really started to think, hey, maybe this guy has got something was actually in his first start. He's playing against Tom Brady. Tampa Bay comes in, and it's the first play of the game. He gets absolutely destroyed on a blitz off the edge. And a rookie quarterback normally would crumble at that moment. We've seen it happen before. But Brock Purdy not only didn't crumble, but he showed even more confidence after that. And I think that was the first moment. Then you fast forward a little bit, and he's playing in Seattle with injured ribs, and he's got the presence of mind to run and then slide and put the ball out in front of him and get a first down. You start seeing things that are beyond his years as far as intelligence and football understanding. And then you're right, all the adversity coming through the playoffs and all the adversity of the injury, and he just steps right in. And nobody can say anything about his coolness in the pocket. He is absolutely one of the most calmest guys in the pocket that I've ever seen. There's just no frantic. There's no panic. It's just a comfortable player in the pocket, and he looks to find the players, and he usually deciphers coverage exactly right and gets his playmakers the ball where it's supposed to get. That is the name of the game, and I think Brock Purdy does it at a high level. I think that there was probably 2 or 3 games last year towards the beginning of the year where I'm like, wow, Brock Purdy is not just a good quarterback, but he's an absolutely great quarterback. And I don't think I don't know how you're not sold on Brock Purdy by now. Just the things that he's been through in the short time he's been a quarterback. This guy is a legit starter in this league, and in my opinion, a top 10 quarterback.
Yeah, and all you have to do is look at some of his characteristics. You mentioned that he's really calm in the pocket. When there's pressure, he's cool. And I mean, that reminds me of Joe Montana, how he was just so calm, even in those big moments. I like that Brock throws an accurate, catchable ball that his receivers can grab and pick up some yak with. I mean, that was something that we always heard about Montana and Steve Young, that they would throw these really accurate, catchable balls that would allow Rice and Taylor and Brent Jones and those guys to pick up extra yardage. So I'm not saying Brock's going to be Steve or Joe, but I like where he's at, and I think that he has some good characteristics, and he's sneaky athletic.
He is. I mean, the scrambles that he had in the playoff run, especially against Detroit, those were game changers. Those were moments that you look back on and you're like, if Brock isn't able to create outside the pocket, the 49ers don't win that game. He is just very good at what he does, and you could see the calmness. I mean, the guy is crazy. I think we have higher heart rates watching the game than he does sitting in the pocket throwing the football. It's different, right? That's that elite characteristic that you can't find in a lot of players, but he has it. Just that calmness of being right where his feet are at. He just does a great job with it. To me, I think Brock Purdy, that's part of what makes him great, but also an elite processor of information. He can see things quickly and get the ball out right where it's supposed to be. That is his, as Steve Young says, superpower, because he does do it at a higher level than a lot of quarterbacks in this league who have to use their use their God-given abilities more so than Brock, where his elite processing is his big strength.